Mic'd up against New England. I don't want to listen to that. That's embarrassing. What is Sealer saying?
Describe the chaos, though. What's a short week like this like, where it's not, everything's
Yeah, you got to
happening?
accelerate everything. You got to pick up your game planning. You got to pick up your tape watch, speed up your process to recover and regroup, and kind of figure out how you want to attack them on the Thursday night quick game.
I'm sorry, top priorities as far as things you want to shore from a defensive standpoint that Anthony, like we've talked about with you.
Yeah, we got to, up front, we got to stay locked in, read our keys, don't get fooled by any of the stuff they do up front, and kind of watch our hands in and play good, sound football up front and all across the board, truly.
Currently at 0-2 and not having a good history lately at Buffalo. You guys feel any pressure going in? How do you guys approach that?
I don't care what our record is. I mean, we're going to Buffalo. There you go, set the tone up there.
How important are the leaders in a week like this where you got to sort of wrangle everyone, like mentally and also from a...
I feel like everyone's locked in mentally. I feel like the biggest thing is making sure everyone's making the most of every single snap we have because it is so precious on a Thursday night game. Because you have limited practice, you have limited time, so you got to make everything count to the highest standard.
You're obviously relying on 3 rookie defensive linemen. What's the biggest challenge, you think, for
Yeah.
rookies at that position, Zach?
Well, a lot of them obviously is their first rodeo with Thursday Night Football. So they've been an awesome, coming in Monday, Sunday after the game and trying to find any way to accelerate that process to grow and to get the tape right and to get ready for Thursday.
How do you corral Josh Allen as best you can?
And you got to have sound rush lanes, and you got to be able to get back there, and you got to make sure you work as a unit up front. And the ball's honestly all 11. So
You've seen him a lot in your career.
Yeah.
Has he improved year to year? I mean,
he's
he's
a
the
great
MVP of the league.
Yeah, he's a great player. Love his style. He's tough. He works hard. He tries to make plays when he can, and we got to take advantage of certain scenarios where we can set up that kind of how to attack that and how to best get after him.
And he's going to kick our ass.
Zach, how have you done in terms of staying in your rush lanes this year? Not you personally, but as a team.
I think we got to get back there more. I feel like we are either being too conservative or not being, sound enough up front where we need to work together as a unit better, which I'll take the ownership of that. And I feel like me as a leader in the unit up front there, we got to do better.
Of his southern accent.
Jalen, what is it about the Bills that's posed difficulties for this team over the last few years?
Well, obviously, to start off with, I have a great leader in Josh Allen, and he commands a lot of attention. But as far as defensively, then they play well, all 3 levels. They play together, really connected on all 3 levels. So anytime you have a defense like that, it's going to be tough.
Sitting at 0-2, do you guys feel any pressure going to the Buffalo place that you guys have not had success in recently?
Nah, no pressure. No pressure at all. We're just trying to play the best ball that we can.
There should be pressure.
Go out there and, compete at a high level, do our jobs, and get a win.
How much does what teams are doing, taking away the middle of the field, impact what you guys have to do as receivers from Tua?
Say one more
How
time.
much does teams taking away the middle of the field defensively impact how the receivers have to operate for Tua?
I think it's just something that the teams are definitely highlighting over the past couple of weeks and over. It's not the first time over the years. We had a lot of success in certain areas, so going to their game plan to take away them areas. Then we just got to execute, go out there.
Damn straight.
Play what we see, play fast, execute, and when we do that, we be pretty efficient.
What have you learned about the short week and previous Thursdays that have benefited you or been a detriment to you getting
That we always get our asses whooped.
ready in 3 days for a game?
Just how important it is just take care of yourself, the recovery, the rest, things like that. But how important meetings is going into it. You're going to be limited on the reps. So meetings and film is going to be key this week.
You mentioned the execution, the communication stuff as well on a short week. Do you feel like those things are correctable in a couple of days?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely correctable. Definitely something that was self-inflicted that, we can go out there, prepare for, and, don't have it happen again.
You notice the leaders having to step up more during a short week like this, like Tua, when there's, to sort of wrangle everyone in mentally and sort of, it's a different week, it's a different feel.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a short week against a good opponent. We're going there. We're traveling to Buffalo, which is a hostile environment. So leaders got to be on it. help the younger guys. There's a lot of guys first time playing 2 games in a week ever. So they need something to follow. So the leaders got to be that mode, have them come up and really show them the way.
Despite being a short week, how much do you guys look forward to prime time games players?
Yeah, man, prime time. Maybe not.
Prime time, excellent opportunity for us to embarrass ourselves in front of everybody.
Excited about playing on prime time. You really should be in the sport going, and it's gonna be the only game on TV going into the week. Yeah, man, this is ultimate. What the game's all about. Yeah, it should be fun.
Jalen, there's obviously been a lot of questions
Should be.
about Mike outside the building. How have you seen him respond this week?
Yeah, Mike, not bothered. Mike's gonna be himself. He's always stay poised and always looks out and always in the team's best interest, inside and out. So yeah, Mike's just been Mike.
Interest. I love accents of English, no matter where people are from, either in the United States or outside the United States. I just love the different pronunciations of different accents and dialects. Interest.
Fans and media people calling for his job.
To be honest, I really just don't really see it. I don't really not too much internet and stuff like that. I come from a cloth of Bama. We don't listen to all that rat poison and stuff that we called it back in the day. So
I'm from Bama. We don't listen to the rat poison. That's what I was saying earlier. Jalen Waddle and Tua, there's no way they can even believe that this is their life in the NFL. This guy can't get any plays in on time. This head coach is a disaster. And let's be real. Waddle and Tua played on a professional football team before they even got into the NFL. So now they see a professional football team and they're seeing incredibly unprofessional tendencies like not getting the plays in on time.
I don't really be into all that.
Alright, anyway. That was cool. I love his accent. I could listen to him talk all day. I've never heard Malik Washington speak.
The Bills have had the Dolphins number the last several years, predates you, but what is it about a division rival and trying to sort of get over that hump if you've lost the last few times out with them?
Yeah, I mean, I'd hate to say that you got to treat it different than any other game. We're trying to go 1-0 each week, and it's a new mission this week against the Bills. So focusing on ourselves, focusing on the things we need to improve on, and going out there and playing our best game.
Sitting at 0-2 currently, do you guys feel any pressure?
Huh?
Place that you guys haven't had success in quite some time?
Yeah, like I said, you can't focus on that pressure. You can't focus on everything else. You have to focus on your team, what you guys have to improve on, and like I said, playing your best game, just going out there and playing Miami Dolphins football.
With the negative of a short week, it could be taken as a negative, but it sounds like it's kind of, there might be a positive there where you don't even have time to think about it, right? It's like boom, you got to get going, right? Is that right?
It becomes more of just like playing fast, playing our technique and the basics, fundamentals and stuff that we have to do, not making it too complicated and just going out there and playing football.
Is there anything?
Not making it too complicated is literally blasphemous on Mike McDaniel's offense. So, good luck there, pal. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, you go ahead. It's okay.
After the game the other day, Tyreek said he sees flashes of himself in you. Your reaction?
He's just being nice. He's just saying what he got to say to the media.
Do you save the ball at all from the touchdown?
I do have that ball.
Good.
Yeah.
Is it going to be displayed on a mantle or something?
I'll probably put it up in the crib somewhere.
Put it up in the crib.
It's already Malik. I know we were limited yesterday. Do you expect to play Thursday?
Absolutely.
Have you watched the touchdown back and seen a couple spin moves to get out of it? What do you make of it? When you watched it, did it feel like how it felt in real time?
I mean, I would say so. Yeah, you kind of see the seam after a couple spins, and there's just green grass. Like I said, we kind of practice that type of stuff, and to be out there, to go out there in a game setting, and actually to come true, was huge for our punt return team and our special teams in general.
Well, for a guy like Tariq to clearly be impressed, though, and to come out and say something like that, I mean, how does that make you feel that he's you guys have each other's back? And
Yeah, I mean, getting the respect from your teammates is one of the things, especially as a young player, that you're looking for when you come into the league. Just having that trust, having that that feel of like family with this team, and I'm impressed with him every day. So to get that feedback back is great.
I just figured it out. Tyreek Hill said that comment, gassing up Malik Washington about how he sees a little bit of himself in Malik, so that the Dolphins realize Malik Washington can just replace Tyreek in the offense so they can trade Tyreek. Duh, of course Tyreek wants us to think that Malik Washington has a little Tyreek in him so that he can go play for a real team. It makes so much sense now. What a smart little bugger he is.
What about a punt return for a touchdown hasn't happened in like 5 years here. When you see a stat like that and that you accomplished it, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just trying to build on it as much as I can. It's still early in the year, so I have 15 more games, 15 more chances to make another one.
So is a kick return next for you or what?
I hope so.
what's the biggest challenge going to be
I hope so.
against Buffalo? I know you guys have to cram with the studying and all that stuff this week, but what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge in Orchard Park?
I mean, I don't want to make it about Buffalo. Like, I think the biggest challenge is just improving on the stuff that we messed up the 2 previous weeks so that we can go out there and play our best game.
Enough to save your head coach's job. Patrick Paul last week said that they were out there just doing what they were coached to do. Let's see what he says this time.
First, I want to start with what went wrong in some of those late game situations, maybe communication. What were you seeing from being in that huddle, being on the field, between penalties and then maybe that fourth down where it was a struggle to get aligned before the play clock was winding down?
Yeah, just with the pre-snap, alignments and operation. I think that in that situation we lacked like the urgency about it. But all things that we can fix. I think it was just a lack of urgency in those situations, and I think we'll learn from it and not have it happen again.
Lack of urgency leading. Wait, what was the question?
What went wrong in some of those late game situations? Maybe communication. What were you seeing from being in that huddle, being on the field, between penalties and then maybe?
David Furones is asking about the late game situation. There's a lack of urgency. It's the end of the game. That's perplexing. That is absolutely perplexing.
Maybe that fourth down where it was a struggle to get aligned before the play clock was winding down.
Yeah, just with the pre-snap, alignments and operation. I think that in that situation we lacked like the urgency about it. But all things that we can fix. I think it was just a lack of urgency in those situations, and I think we'll learn from it and not have it happen again.
I also want to ask you about the outside noise surrounding your coach, Mike McDaniel. From the inside, what do you see from in terms of belief from players in the locker room, and where does your belief stand in him?
Us as players, yes, we believe in him utmostly, and then with just me, I love him as a coach. He believed in me when most didn't, and he's a great coach. He's a player's coach who believes in his players. He inspires us and speaks confidence into us and makes us go out there with a sense of urgency and confidence through the technique that all these coaches that he's brought in for us. And yeah, we love him.
Thank you.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, I'm a little confused here, Pat, because you just said. Maybe I'm not confused. You see, he's a smart dude. Look at what he did here. He said that the late game nonsense was due to a lack of urgency. And then the very next question wants to say that Mike McDaniel is a great coach because he instills motivation in his players and he instills a sense of urgency. So was he not instilling a sense of urgency in these late game situations where you were saying that you lacked urgency? Or are you trying to say that the players didn't have the urgency that their coach is supposed to be instilling? I'm very confused by this, but there is some sort of rhetorical spin on this where Patrick Paul is saying Mike McDaniel did not instill the urgency the players needed that led to the disaster at the end of the game. Yeesh.
Isaiah?
What's going on, Pat? As one of the young guys on this team, just what sort of advice, what sort of, counsel have people have some of the older guys been giving you? Obviously 0-2 start, not ideal. No one kind of can prepare for that, but just what has the mood been? What are some of the things being said in the locker room just to try to pick everybody up?
I think just, obviously we all want to win. And I think the thing is just, staying on track, knowing that we have everything capable to be a winning team, and just trusting it and being able to fight and know that even now it doesn't look as good, but, we got 15 more fights. And I think the biggest thing is just, next game, having that next game mentality and just being ready.
Chris?
I appreciate a person that pronounces it mentality rather than mentality with a D. Really. Personality. I don't know. Maybe it's just a Miami thing. We like to turn those T's into D's and it just like rolls off of our mouth and we sound ridiculous.
What's up, Patrick?
But that's not Patrick.
When I talked to you after the game last night, you said that it was a frustrating situation for the team. Can you break that down for the offensive line for me? How do you feel you guys have played? I know that you've had some injuries. Even if you want to, give you guys a break for the injuries, how do you think you played as an offensive line?
I always think that there's room for improvement.
Damn
it really
straight.
doesn't matter who's in there, like I said before. We all have practiced together. The two that went in on the right side with our injuries, they've been here. They've been in the system for a long time. They know exactly what it looks like. They know exactly what to do. So I'd say there's always room for improvement. And each week we're just going to keep getting after it and getting better. And whoever's in the game, we know we're going to get after it because we're coached well and we're coached to do so.
And I was just going to ask if I can follow up. How has Butch Berry been with you guys? Has he shown a little patience or has he been riding you pretty hard?
Every day we press forward. Butch is a very passionate coach.
I am not mature enough to survive that without laughing. Is Coach riding you hard? Yeah.
And he doesn't hide his passion. So I say every day we push forward.
He doesn't hide his passion when he's riding his players hard.
And he keeps on us, definitely. He keeps on us, and, we never settle, and we're never taking our foot off the gas.
Yeah, listen to Tua. Tua did say some really interesting things. He said some really interesting things after the game that if I were a reporter, I would 100% follow up with. First and foremost, did you indeed talk to Frank Smith, Darren Bevel, and whoever the hell you said you wanted to talk to about the substitutions and the communication on the sideline? Because he said he was going to do that. He was going to send an angry message. So let's see if that's something he does.
In the play, he had his assignment and then he chipped out, went up, didn't see him, just try to make something happen there. That's what it was.
Tua, after the game, Vrabel had his coaching show. He said their main goal was to take away the middle. This is kind of the second week that somebody said that.
Yeah.
Have you seen defenses play you different, and so how you combat that goal that teams have coming in?
Yeah, I would say that's the style that teams have played us in, and they've found a lot of success. as you see, we had to throw outside of the numbers this past game, and then the checkdowns. We try to find ways to maneuver guys to get out of the middle so that we can, find those soft spots inside the numbers, if you will. But yeah, this past game, that's how we were looking to combat that. Throwing outside the numbers, taking the checkdowns, and then running the ball as well.
Obviously, have tried to do that to you for a while. You guys still found ways to get it, the timing and the motion. What has changed?
Well, I think it's spots that those guys are getting to now as well. It's not your normal Tampa 2. It's not your normal quarters deal. It's guys are staying inside, allowing our guys to break outside where they can trap the corners, play up top with the safeties, and their backers are just getting depth. Like, they're not even getting to the spots where in a normal Tampa 2 or in a normal quarters deal you get, width or you get depth. They're just literally packing the middle.
The ball outside the numbers, a couple sail routes to Waddle. I think Reek had a big comeback route in the game. Do you feel like getting that stuff on tape is going to be beneficial to how teams approach you down the road?
Yes and no. Every game is going to have its own challenges depending on the flavor of the DC and what they want to do to combat what we've done previous game or in games past against them. So it's really just figuring out what they want to do against us.
I think this goes for any quarterback, and I know that people will always want to poo-poo on Tua for not having this crazy rocket arm. But the Dolphins, if they want to throw outside the numbers, which is essentially what you have to do to beat this, clogging up the middle conversation that happens every week, you have to protect the quarterback. If the pocket cannot get a clean, execution at the snap, Tua cannot plant his feet and zip the ball to the sideline. A lot of quarterbacks struggle with the outside passes. And when you don't have the crazy arm strength that some of these quarterbacks have, you got to be able to plant your feet. If not, those passes to the sideline are going to be catastrophic. If you want to sit here and say that Tua, that this concept is exaggerated by Tua's lack of a cannon arm, fine, whatever. But don't sit here and tell me that he can't hit those sideline passes, because he does it every week. You just gotta protect him so he can plant his feet and let it rip.
Dealt with a lot of adversity through your first 5 seasons, but as you mentioned after the game, you've never started 0-2. You said Waddle hasn't started 0-2. How are you personally dealing with all the weight of all that, since you've never experienced it before, and possibly being 0-3 in the first 12 days of a season even?
Yeah, I would say when we were in 21, it wasn't just how we started. We could have been, 1-0, 2-0, maybe even. And then we went on that streak of maybe 6 losses, 7 losses, and then we came back and we won 8. It's one of those deals where you can never get too high in this league. You can never be too low. You just got to continue to stick to your process, stay even keel, trust the guys, continue to bring those guys along. And you go out there and you continue to play, do your job, do the best that you can, and the result will take care of itself, whether it's a win, whether it's a loss. And you continue to grow from that, continue to move on from that.
Given all the
Sure.
Like the old days with his connection with you, do you feel some momentum coming in your connection with Tyreek?
Yeah, in this past game, just looking at what the defense was allowing for us to do, we'll give Reek, we'll give Waddle those opportunities, and then that deep ball, that was one of those where, like, hey, we need a spark from our offense, and it was like, Reek, I'm just coming to you, like, no matter what they do on this, and you got to make me right. So not to say that's what we want to do every time, but when the defense allows and we can manipulate coverage, that's the guys we want to get the ball to.
Did you feel you underthrew it? It got there. But
Oh yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah, I definitely did. I wasn't able to get both my feet under me as I was moving off the spot to make that throw. I think defensively, the scheme that they're in.
He admitted to
very
underthrowing that throw.
That's one of the teams that just want to get to a spot. We'll just keep everything, hey, numbers to numbers and inside. Like that's where we're gonna force them not to throw. If they want to do the checkdowns, like force them to throw those checkdowns because they can't sustain that. Force them to throw outside the numbers because they can't sustain that. And I think the discipline of that defense is what makes them really good.
Tua, I'm curious, when was your introduction to the Bills-Dolphins rivalry? Like, was there a particular moment that you realized, like, oh, like this is kind of real?
I would say when I first got to the league, just in general, even when I wasn't playing the first game against the Bills, right, when Fitz was playing, but I sort of looked at it as that's how all the division games were. You know, when we played the Patriots that year and Fitz started, that's what I felt like it was.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets, same thing, and then also with the Bills, you know. So I just assumed they were all that way because it was divisional games.
A lot of talk about the communication from the coaches and kind of the slow year 4 for you guys in the system. I guess for those of us who haven't played in it, how does it still happen at this stage?
Well, I think
great question.
It also has a lot to do with kind of wanting to do new, I guess, personnels, and then with that comes responsibility from guys that never had to do that in years past, and now they have that on their plate, and so the communication with that, from the sideline to the huddle, from me telling those guys what it is, and then guys in the huddle knowing, okay, now I'm not this position, I'm this position, right? And so I think that's what it is. And coming into this Thursday night game, how can we tailor that to maybe only these couple personnels, and then with the guys that we want in there, let's just go play football.
So basically, he's attributing some of the miscommunication to guys, to the packages that are on the field, and how there needs to be this, I guess, understanding of all the calls and how they relate to the positions. And we have seen this. We see that the fullbacks and the tight ends are kind of interchangeable. Sometimes Alec Ingold will line up at tight end. We see Malik Washington lined up as a freaking running back. That's a whole different situation, which is stupid, but whatever. Achane plays receiver sometimes. I mean, are guys really playing out of position? Is it really that complicated? That the play call, the guys are struggling to know where to line up because they're a tight end in this formation, but then they're a fullback in that formation? I don't know. That just reeks of incompetence at the coaching level, if you ask me.
You mentioned not seeing Julian Hill and that progression. Are you maybe not looking for the tight ends enough? Do you feel defenses are maybe disregarding them a little bit?
I wouldn't say I'm not looking for the tight ends in general.
You're definitely
Just going
not.
through my progression, and for myself, my feed is what I feel is telling me whether I should stick with this or progress and whatnot. But it's not that I'm trying to disregard the tight end or not wanting to throw the tight end.
Josh, what do you think of Josh Allen's skill set?
Dude, he's top tier. If it's not with his arm, it's with his legs. That dude can do literally anything he wants. So definitely different skill set for me. I can't do half of what he does when it comes to running the ball and any of that. And then with how he can just chuck a ball down the field, you know, with how far and the arm strength that he has, you know, he's supreme when it comes to that. So it's gonna be fun. Get to see him, get to play him again, and we'll see. Thanks.
Well, in other words, Josh Allen is my idol, and I wish that I were as big as he is. Try something. What if I listen to McDaniel and watch his press conference, and I try to play guitar to kind of like mimic his speech patterns? Let's see what happens here. This is going to be so stupid, but at the same time could potentially be the greatest thing ever. Let's see what happens here. I don't even know if the guitar is going to sound any decently. I don't know. Let's see.
It's good to check in on updates on Austin Jackson and Iffy. With Austin Jackson, does it look long term, or do you think he might be back around the time he's eligible in 4 games? And is Iffy a long term thing?
I think we'll have a shot to get him back close to return. He'll that's kind of what we're earmarking for Austin. And then it was good news, bad news. The good news, it wasn't anything like overly severe that we were the images showed this. However, it is soft tissue on a short week, so I'm trying to feel out what the positive vibes from the medical outlook from this morning, what that actually means as far as this game. That will become clear as the week goes.
Mike, with Iffy, I noticed on the kickoff return touchdown, he was limping. That was it.
Boom. Yeah.
With Achane, when he steps out of bounds, I mean, is that, I guess for lack of a better term, his fault? Should he have had better field awareness, or is in the moment you just can't help that?
It's a game of inches, and he was, you know, what had happened was he too quickly went through his progression, got to him, and there was a flat defender. He made the guy miss, and then Alec Ingold, being a captain, he transitioned from his route to be a lead blocker on the half safety, and you know, Devon was bringing the ball to the block as we coach it. And you know, just was a little, you know, I think a quarter of an inch or a half inch or whatever it was. You have to pay attention to the sideline. He was, but I think he thought he was a couple inches inside. So it is a game of inches. You know, he was trying to turn the play into a touchdown and pressed it just a hair too much. But he made an outstanding play to get to that position in the first place.
What's been your impression from conversations with players on where they're headed?
Nice. All right.
Now, given some of the issues with penalties and things like that, is there anything in the game day, play-to-play operation?
Wow, I mean, he laughed. High spirits? This looks like a tough question, though.
That you feel there's a need to change for this game?
Well, I think another thing that you take, you know, sometimes winning mass stuff, when you lose, it's almost impossible not to, you know, really iron out every detail of anything that can contribute to that. I think that's part, you know, my job is nothing other than, you know, finding solutions and things. So, you know, when something comes up that, you know, I think that we can correct, you know, to me, it's all like, I'm accountable for everything. ultimately that's the exact role of the head coach. So
is there anything you can fix?
The solution is my job, and right, wrong, or indifferent, it doesn't matter who we deem accountable. It's on me, and we try to correct things. So I think specifically with regard to our mechanism of our particular substitution, and the thing that came up at the end of the game, we met on as a staff and came up with a solution, like we do everything. And I think it's frustrating.
He's just rambling, but he said it. They found a solution. Okay, Mike. Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that. You found a solution to the substitution and communication problems you were having at the end of the Patriots game. You met with your staff. You figured it out. I'm holding Mike McDaniel to that statement.
There's a lot of things that are involved in that. We had planned on playing them a little bit more, and you adjust to the game. I think whatever the snaps were in the first half, then.
The answer is I need to get my head out of my own behind so that I can put Ollie Gordon in the game. That's really what he needs to say, because there is no excuse for why he can't have Ollie Gordon taking more snaps. It's pretty astonishing.
You kind of get in the rhythm in the second half, and it's kind of a different ball game at that point. So his key is I've been talking about the off-ball stuff a ton. It was awesome to see him make a play on Malik's carry that was instinctive and really added to the overall gain on the play just by his effort and his understanding of what we're trying to get done. And that being continued. I think if the plan was the same as it was last fall, and you have a high percentage DPI or completion, so that's a throw that I think it was the same route as the Patriots touchdown in 23 at home, going into our tunnel, and that throw wasn't underthrown because of the timing of it, which was the same timing, different ball handling, or different action in the backfield. There was no action; it was third down, but the timing should have been that, and he extended the play to make the throw. So it was, from our standpoint, a highly effective throw.
What's the teaching point for Jason Marshall Jr. after he commits the illegal contact? Yeah, on 2nd and 25.
So you have a guy that is
like no one's ever seen. He's in control. When you say he's talking practice that. That was pretty funny. I don't want to listen to this man talk for another 20 minutes. I am getting off. I got better things to do than listen to Mike McDaniel speak.